Hey, what's going on, everybody? So, today we're gonna kind of start out the stream. I'm gonna be sitting here in Stormwind for a little bit and just kind of talking a little bit about what the items that I'm gonna be stockpiling for Shadowlands and, kind of explain a couple things that have been making me some decent amount of gold here. Oh, yeah. Um, well, as you can see right now, I'm making bolts of Ember Silk. For some reason on my server, you just need to check on your server. I mean, it varies, but pretty much across most of the servers that I'm on, people pay for convenience. So the convenience is that people that are making crafted transmog will just pay for the bolts of Ember Silk. They don't really care about sitting here and doing what I'm doing. Kind of in between me making my own crafts and when I have a little bit of lull, I just want to do maybe some good AFA, kind of like AFK farming, I guess you would. More AFK crafting. Um, I kind of just sit here and make bolts. So you can see here on my TSM that's showing that I got 14 gold profit per bolt. So I bought a majority of these, as you can see, at 1 gold 20, and I have a lot that I have to go through. So when I did the breakdown earlier, is essentially if I just sat here for a solid hour crafting these and selling them at 19 gold, 29 silver, which I've already sold 2 stacks today, um, make about 24 to 25k profit an hour. It's pretty damn nice. So, how are you guys all doing tonight? Everything's lagging on my end. Well, after we get done talking about a couple of things that I'm going to be stockpiling, um, then we'll go and we're going to do the Saltstone farm again. Either Saltstone or the Manitombs farm. Not quite sure which one yet, but we'll figure that out as we go. We'll see which one you guys are kind of feeling for the afternoon. Hey Nick, what's up? Yeah, so the Ember Silk is actually just flipping. Like I said, if I sit here for an hour just making these, then I make 14 gold profit per bolt. Just gives me a good little thing for me to sit here and kind of talk to you guys about what I'm going to be stockpiling for Shadowlands and kind of the stuff that's moving right now. And if you guys have any questions, it gives me a little bit more freedom to kind of answer any of those questions. I snagged 2 Gloves of Living Touch for 1k today. Just decently nice. I think when I actually learn it, I think the crafting cost for them is about 500 or 600 gold, and the sell price is right at 1,000 on this server. I'll make my money back pretty quickly. I'll probably sell one of these and then keep the other. I can't believe that I actually got both of them for the 1,000. So, yeah, so we're going to be essentially for Shadowlands. You guys have never really prepared for a like a launch, kind of the same thing. Um, Goblin gliders or from Warlords of Draenor are always in demand because nobody has flying and everybody uses goblin gliders. So I would either do one or two things. You can either do the old farm or the sumptuous fur, or you can just buy the sumptuous fur. Um, Personally, I will go and do the farm a little bit and then, just to mess around with it and then come back and then probably buy the rest off of the auction house. And I mean, it's really good. So really what you want to kind of focus on is you want to focus on the goblin gliders, and then there's a potion from Warlords of Draenor that people are selling really cheap that also works very well. It's Potion of Slowfall. It's essentially a potion that gives you slow fall like what mages have. Um, so that's really good. And then shadow shoot battle shoots are really not that great. But Hydro Expedition bags, of course, because it's the cheapest way for gatherers to get 32 slot bags and not have to pay 4K for the embroidered deep sea satin bags. And Bear Tartar. I'm going to say with Bear Tartar, kind of going to be a niche because you're going to have the new Bear Tartar that we're getting in Shadowlands. However, the prices on that are going to be all kinds of jacked up right when Shadowlands hits because it's going to be at level mobs. So you're going to have a bunch of people that are selling these, and they're going to be way more expensive than Bear Tartar is to make. So if you stockpile and buy them cheap now, then I'm making Bear Tartar. I'm buying fatty bear steaks off the AH for 30 to 40 silver a piece in bulk. So when you get to Shadowlands and you're selling Bear Tartar for 3-4 gold a pop, you're making very good profit margin off of it, and they'll sell. So those are really the ones that I would highly recommend. I haven't really been able to do this much on any of them so far. So do you guys have any like questions that you want to ask me about kind of building up to getting your 5 mil? We hit another 250K in the past couple of days. As you can see, we're at 1.4 on our main. We have a couple 100,000 spread out across alts. If you guys have any questions for me, feel free. I'll try to answer them as best I can. So tonight is mostly going to be kind of going over what I just went over, and then if you guys don't have any questions, then we'll probably get into a farm. I'll probably either do some mana tombs or we'll do saltstone. Probably start off with mana tombs and then go over to saltstone. I haven't gotten any really good transmog drops there yet, which I need to really get on. Transmog market here on Storm Rage is really decent actually. I made a bunch of I spent the morning kind of starting to level up my tailoring on this alt. I have Culturian Max, but I don't have the other ones, so probably gonna work on that. So, if you guys don't have any questions, I don't see anything rolling through, so we'll hop on over to the farm. Oh, okay, so he's already over at the Mana Tombs, so we'll just stick with Mana Tombs then. Very nice, Nick. Yeah. There's a lot of people that are lowballing embroidered sea silk. I'm not quite sure, but I was able to catch up on probably ooh, I think I bought 1 or 2 stacks today for under 6 gold a pop, which is crazy cheap. Even on my high pop server, it sells for way more than that. Oh, so Steeler, that's a pretty good question. Um, yeah, it's ridiculously low. So Steeler, answer, the thing that I look for is I look for two things. So I look for really anything that's better than 0.02. So if it's 0.02 and you look at all the things there, you can see the ATT and it shows this has 0.01 and this has two things that you can get the appearance from. Let me see if I have something here. Aha, okay. So here's a perfect example. If it sells for a decent price and it's 0.01 and it's the only way to get the appearance, then I'll keep it for my transmog cells. This one, I have not sold any of these. So I personally don't really keep these. I'll just disenchant them because you can see the disenchant value is 20 gold. So it's well over what I can make actually selling it. Now, what I will say is that when you're first starting with transmog, what I recommend you do for at least 2 or 3 posts on your server is I recommend that you farm until you have don't vendor any of them until you have just a complete inventory full of transmog. And then I would do 2 days of 24-hour posting tests. I would see if anything sells, and then I would do 2 more days. If absolutely nothing sells, then what I would do is I would kind of look through and see where a lot of them. Let me see if I can find a good one to show you. Okay, there we go. Where a lot of you need to get all the things. And you can see right there where a lot of the items that we're not selling, where there are multiple ways to get that appearance. If that's the case, then yes, that's why they're not selling, because I guarantee you what that means is one of those other items that you can get that appearance for is selling cheaper. Now, what you can also do is what I personally do. I try to stay with items that I keep. If they're under or if they are 0.01, that means that they're going to take a long time to sell normally. But if they have 2 ways of getting the appearance, or like this one right here, 1 way, I always give them at least a week selling them to try and see. Normally they'll sell, because normally, even though they don't sell as often, it's the only way you can get that appearance. So there's normally somebody that would kind of want that appearance. So that's how I look at pretty much all of my transmog cells. Hopefully that answered your question. Obviously, you do want to look at sell rate, but I try to, yeah, good. I'm glad. I try to stay with items even if they don't have a high sale rate. Like this one right here. This is a compound bow from BC. And you can see right there, it shows region sale average is 3.5k and min buyout on my server is 7.2. That's pretty decent for a Burning Crusade bow transmog. Hey, what's going on, guys? Nice to see everybody hopping in. Hope you guys are all having a good night. What about Garv? Much. All right. So if your main goal right now, this is tag. This is very specific to current BFA as it sits right now. If you want to make your WoW token, you can pretty much make your WoW token in a day right now if you have tailoring. So if you get tailoring on whatever main that you have that's exalted and you get embroidered deep sea bags, you get the pattern and you get rank 2 at the very least, and you get deep sea satin bags. Right now, I mean, just this afternoon on my main, I don't know if you were here whenever I showed it, but probably just this afternoon, I've sold 14 of the embroidered deep sea satin bags for 4.4k each. It's just stupid how fast they just fly off the shelf. So I would stick with tailoring right now. So Andre, are you doing tailoring? Now here's another thing, and this is this kind of is, I don't know, I don't think it's necessarily sneaky, but it's the way that I do it. So I always make sure that I have the lowest price on the auction house, and then I undercut myself just to get extra sales. So what I'll do is I will take I'll just take 10%. So for example, it's not really actually 10%. So on my server right now, it sells for 240 gold for deep sea satin bags. So what I do is I will make sure that I have the cheapest price on the auction house for 240 gold for the deep sea satin bags. And then I'll post that I'm selling the deep sea satin bags in trade chat, and I'll post them that I'm selling them cheap. And then what I'll do is I'll sell them for 235. So it essentially hits, because whenever I sell them for 240, I get 235 and like 25 silver in the bank. Essentially, I'm double tapping, which is what you should do if you have the time to sit there and post in trade chat and do that. I mean, you can just make stupid amount of money in a very, very short time, because all they're going to see is, oh crap, it's 5 gold under what the AH is, and not realize that, well, for them it's 5 gold under AH. For me, I'm making the same amount because that's what I get after the deposit values and the AH cut. So that's how I sell a lot of bags too. I mean, I probably sold at least 100 deep sea satin bags just this afternoon, sitting on Storm Rage just posting. So farming the hydrocores, I kind of want to get into, I want to do my own experiment with that, because I personally haven't actually had a purposeful search for farming hydrocores. Now, I got into a bunch of mythic grinding for a while, so when I hopped on, I was lucky when I started making bags because I had like 178 hydrocores. So I'm still running off of those. As far as I know, I believe that you can spam um, queued heroics is probably the fastest way, because you can continuously loot if you're queuing, and heroics are the lowest dungeon that drop hydrocores. Fish feeds. Honestly, I have not gotten into the feasts as much. On pretty much all of my servers, they're very high competition for those to actually make them profitable. Xerxes. What server are you on? Hey Isla, having a good day. Yeah, just kind of chilling, having a good farm here going on. What's transmog selling going on this? Uh, haven't you heard? Uh, paper transmog is dead. You know, they had or at least that's what everybody tells you. Student just put out a video today pulling 500k off of transmog cells. His transmog cells are just nasty though on his server. No, in all seriousness, transmog is still very healthily alive. Probably actually even better since they did the auction house revamp, because honestly, the little tab that they put on there was like the best thing that they could do for transmog sellers. And here's why. Because now people can just sit there and they don't have to like look on Wowhead and look at all the things. They don't have to have any add-ons to see which transmog items they don't have, and they can just select which items they have not collected the appearance for in the auction house, which makes transmog sales go through the roof. Ooh, just started fresh on Illidan. Yeah, that's gonna be some nasty competition there. Um, Kuro, I am on a couple of different servers. I'm on Dintarg Storm Rage and Area 52. Of course, Horde with Area 52. Yeah, Nick, I would stick with both of the deep sea bags. So like the regular 30 slot and the 32 slots. Yeah, ran. It was the deep sea bags. Uh, Xerxes. Let's see. Have any idea? Hmm. So, Xerxes, do you have the TSM add-on? Because what that can do is you can kind of use TSM and the Undermine Journal, and essentially what you can do with that is it shows you the rough average of daily cells on your server. Yeah, UI is a little glitchy right now. It's not that great. Ooh, I should actually run back out and vendor some stuff real quick. Oh, so Alex, yeah, okay, so that's where it drops. It drops from Naga. So you want to go here. Actually, I can. Let me see if I can show you real quick. You want to go to Kultiris. You want to go to Stormsong Valley, and this fort right here, Fort Dalen. So all around the outside there are enchantresses, and now you get a chance to drop from everything, but the enchantresses it drops the highest percentage. Essentially, what you want to do is you just run around the whole outside if you don't already have it, and if you're a tailor, it will drop you the rank 1 of the pattern. Now, what is really actually kind of helpful is if you're already exalted with Tortollan, you can see this is where the Seeker's Vista is. So once you actually get the pattern, learn the rank 1, all you have to do is fly or walk over here, and you can pick up the rank 2, which is if you have exalted, which is what you should do immediately before you start making those. But this is the fastest area to farm for them, is right here. It took me about 8 minutes probably to get mine. Mm. Yeah, so Xerxes, let's see if I can show you. Okay, actually, there's a perfect example. So this is how you find out what is selling. This is why, even if you hate TSM, even if you use it for nothing, you can just go back to the regular auction house when you're there, but this is completely invaluable. I can see right here that Never Weave Cloth on this server, region average daily sold is 2,414 of them. That's a pretty high amount that is sold. So now I get that that's Nether Weave Cloth. Of course, Nether Weave Cloth has a high turnover rate, but if you look at newer stuff, unfortunately I don't have anything newer in my bags right now. Oh, there we go. I lied, I do. So Platinum Ore. You can see right there, region average daily sold 3,592. Now, that doesn't mean that there's going to be 3,592 on your server sold, but that gives you kind of a good idea, because then if you also look right here, 0.01 sold regional average. So that kind of tells you just a little bit of what's going to sell, what's not going to sell for you. Yeah, that Swift now mount flip is that was pretty nasty. I remember you telling me about that. Yeah, I always end up falling back with TSM. Right now, to be honest, it is brutally glitchy if you don't use it to post things. Like if you have TSM installed and you try to use the regular auction house non TSM to post certain things, it's just brutal. You don't get anywhere with it. No. Oh, look at me. I got all my add-ons. Because TSM has been jacked up so much, I have all my add-ons pulled off. Let's see. There we go. Up, Joe? Cool shades, just kind of chilling. There we go. Much. All right. Ooh, he turned there. Ooh, that's. I don't know what it is. There's so many good transmogs in Burning Crusade. This just happens to be one of my favorites. The Ranger hat. I don't know why. It's just awesome. And then what I normally do, um, because I'm crazy and I normally leave a couple of tunes kind of AFK crafting, um, is I'll send a bunch of this nether weave over to my tailorer and then I'll just make bolts. That pretty much almost quadruples my profit. Ooh, now see, that would be something interesting. I'm a if you guys don't know already, I'm a complete transmog whore. So I will have to give Warlock a look. I haven't really played around with much of the Warlock sets. Oh, yeah, so the netherweave cloth, I'll send it over to my tailor and I'll make bolts. Yeah, Warlocks can be OP, however, they are not very efficient at all for farming. So, I could see where you would need to make some alts to not have to farm on a Warlock, because that would be agonizing. Oh, absolutely. So, Xerxes, essentially what it comes down to is so it depends on what server you're on. If you're on any kind of decently high to medium pop server, people will pay for um, essentially not luxury, but people will pay for convenience. So, for example, and I know, this is kind of one of those areas that a lot of people think is a little bit scummy, but I'm just going to be for real. I do it just because I make consistent gold on it. I've probably made 4 or 5K over the past 3 days selling mild spices on the AH. And mild spices you buy from a cooking vendor, like one of the first cooking vendor items that you can buy. Apparently on Storm Rage, people don't mind, instead of paying 5 silver at a vendor, instead of walking over to the vendor, they would just rather pay, 5, 10 gold to me, which I'm completely fine with doing, because I consistently get sales. So it's all about convenience. So if you can make that much more profit by buying the cloth off of the auction house and then just leaving your character kind of semi AFK making bolts and then come back and sell them and make profit, then do it. That was actually, fun fact, please God don't go back and watch it because it's a little bit embarrassing about how bad that video was. But that was my first ever video that I posted on this channel. Was essentially talking about how I made probably at least 300 or 400K right when I moved over to Storm Rage, just off of simply buying linen, wool, nether weave, and mage weave cloth and making it into bolts. I was making that much profit. I started on Storm Rage with absolutely nothing. I farmed up about 1K raw gold and then started flipping. And that was how I essentially started on Storm Rage. It was fun. Feels like forever and a day ago. It's been a little bit over year and a couple months now. Shadow bolt everything. Yeah. Raymond, do you have a choice? Like, are you saying that you're wanting to start a new character, or do you have a character on a different server that's kind of a dead server, and you're asking whether or not I think you should move to a high pop server? So if you have a choice and you're wanting to start a character, definitely, definitely start on a high pop server. There's just so much more opportunity. There's a lot more competition, but it also gets to the point to where there's so much competition. Um, Kind of weird. I don't know quite how it works to be completely honest, but there's brutal competition on Storm Rage, and I'm making more gold on Storm Rage than I have on any other server. Yeah, dead server wanting to move? Absolutely, absolutely. I would switch. I would just pay to do the server hop, bring everything with you. Hey Ray, what's up? I see you back. Ah, damn. You know what I forgot? I forgot to mine that boss again. So I've actually slacked a little bit this expansion with blacksmithing. I do not have a at level blacksmith. However, I know you can make stupid gold with them. Um, hmm, um, a lot of my blacksmithing that I make a lot of gold off of is older stuff because old crafted transmog or blacksmithing still just sells all the time. I don't think that there has been I don't think that there's been a year since the Sulfuran Hammer came out on my main server, Dentarg. I don't think that there's been a year go by that I haven't at least sold two. Now, I know that's, you know, pretty slow, but I mean, I'm selling them for anywhere from 90 to 100K, so that's pretty decent for just one transmog with pretty low investment. There's a lot of like old blacksmithing transmog items that sell for a lot more. Let me see if I remember the names right. Mithril Rapier sells for a lot. Well, sell for a lot. It sells for about 1,000 to 1,500 on my server, and I can easily sell one a week. That's just one example there. The dark iron stuff sells. Um, I make a good bit on my on Dentarg actually doing not Firelands, Molten Core trash runs. So that's probably my preferred way in a new server of starting to build up gold is to do molten core trash runs with a miner because you get dark iron ore. There's very, very, very few servers that doesn't sell for a decent amount, and people will buy it because everybody wants to use, make the crafted transmog out of it. So, oof. How many pets did you get? 2, really? They sold for 1,800. That's a little low, but they can still be dropping. Obviously, everything's kind of continuously dropping right now. Unfortunately, the only thing that's staying pretty true is the bags. Bags are still selling for a lot. Bags and transmog because now people are bored. They're in quarantine. They're realizing that most of the ways that you can make gold are kind of, you know, not as efficient anymore, so they don't really care to do them. So then you can make a lot with transmog right now because everybody wants to make their character look nice. Yeah, to be honest, if even if you got 2, if yours are selling for 1,800 and they're continuing to drop, I'd probably give it a rest with the fishing for a little bit. Oh, oh, like 5 to 8K, yeah. Yeah. And unfortunately, when you get a lot of people farming them, that's how that works. But so, just gonna throw this out there too. Is you see this a lot with pets. Is right now one that would not be one that I would do this with. For example, void scourge beetles. Don't buy them because no, I mean everybody and their mother has them. So no, they're not going to be worth anything much more. Now, gloop is obviously not hard to get, but you have to do specific things to do them. A lot of people won't do fishing, so that kind of brings that down. And then the people that are going to pay for them, they may not want to pay for them. So this is what I personally am doing with gloop. I'm still doing fishing every now and then, so maybe like 2 or 3 times a week. And I'm just keeping the glue pets. So I'm putting them back in my bank. And I'm going to wait until about maybe a month or so into Shadowlands. And then see what it looks like. Because then everybody's going to be in Shadowlands. People that are collecting pets may not have gloop. People that are coming up to, Shadowlands as a new 120 just buying Shadowlands after they hear about the hype, then they're not going to want to go back and go to a corrupted zone in Oldham and do farming. They just would want to pay, 5 or 6K and get the pet, which is still pretty decent. So I probably have, I haven't started stockpiling them personally on Storm Rage. On Dentarg, I have about 10 or 15 of them. Uh, Thank you. I honestly keep forgetting that because, you know, the level squish is going to be a wondrous thing that we have not had before. Yeah, sorry about that. I'm really interested to see how the whole level squish thing goes. I think it's gonna be good. Be interested to see how it affects the transmog rates, like the transmog drop rates, though. That'll be something interesting to see because I'm not I'm not completely sure this is still how it works, but I haven't heard anything different. I'm not sure if. Ooh, what did we get there? Ooh, let's see. Of inner rage mail. What does it look like? Oh, well, I already have it from the same item, so we'll be selling that one. Looks like the oh, it's like a recolor a little bit. That's nice. I'm sorry about that. Get off a transmog tangent there. Um, hmm, shit, what was I talking about? Oh, transmog. So, for example, like the reason that certain transmogs in certain dungeons are so hard to get as a drop is because you're running it with a 120 character. So the further away that you actually get from the actual item level drop, the harder it is for you to actually get that item. So what I'm wondering is I'm wondering if when they do this, you know, 1 to 60 squish, and now max level is going to be 60, how that's going to affect everything is going to get scaled down, obviously. But when it scales down, is that going to mean that it cuts or it increases the chance of you getting that item like times two? That's what I'm looking at seeing because if I can run Uldaman and have a 1 in 50,000 chance instead of a 1 in 100,000 chance of getting the Pendulum of Doom X, I will run Uldaman all day long because that Joker sells for like over gold cap. Only I could get one of those to drop. I would just do a swift update on the channel and be like, "Hey guys, I was able to buy it. We're done." So essentially, the way you get the long boy is you just have a horseshoe up your ass and get the Pendulum of Doom and sell it for gold cap. Ooh, no, 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 that's not good. I'm not gonna let. Ooh, hoo, hoo. I did not know that Corium ore was that expensive on my server. Wow, that is that is nice. Mm, yeah, probably would because I get on and off distracted whenever I'm talking. I'm not going for efficiency here. What? Ooh, actually, is that? Ah, it is. I actually sold some of those before. I gotta start keeping an eye out on the gray items they're dropping. Yeah. Alright, so it doesn't look like there's anything else in here. I'm just gonna run out because my bags are full. One of live. Take what we can. Why do people buy old mats? Because they buy old mats to make crafted transmog items or stuff for leveling. Yeah, it has been calculated. It's not by me, but it's decent. However, really kind of what you're going for in here is not any of the transmog items. Really what you're going for is this right here. So you can run around in Outland and farm Corium ore. However, there's normally people that just sit there and multi-box it. And of course, on Storm Rage, multi-boxers just kill Corium ore. So what you do is you run Mana Tombs, and Mana Tombs has some of the highest drop chance, or highest, I'm sorry, not drop chance, highest spawn rate of Corium of any dungeon. So actually when you're running through, like I just did, I found two. So we're looking at 2,300 just for that. Now what you do with that is you send it over to a blacksmith and you can pretty much triple what you make because again, people pay for convenience and if you make the bars and then sell them, people will pay for them. Ooh, I would be careful with that. I do not I think they nerfed that. I don't think that it gives you max anymore. I could be wrong, but I would make sure to double check that. All right. Oh, I know that. Oh, we made some good on here. All right. We sold all of the herbs and ore that we ran around with the other night. Yeah, Rayson. Thanks, man. Thanks for stopping by. And yeah, I'll see you around. So, are there any Lord of the Rings fans in here? Because I still can't believe that I actually got this name for an alt. But check that out for my rogue. Yeah, Bilbo. Yeah, made me made me so happy to see that that was available. Fellow, we're still working toward Longboy. So not yet. Hopefully getting there soon. Potatoes. Oh. Yeah, no, my character's name is Bilbo Stabbins. Whoa. Rin, thanks for the Thanks for the super chat. Oh, nice. First super chat we got on the channel. Thank you. I appreciate it. Let's see. Uh, we got all this fun stuff. We're just gonna send over him. I normally try to sell all my transmog on. Yeah, so essentially it's not specific to your server. It just shows essentially like what is it? I'm sorry. Hold on. So it just kind of gives you an idea of how much is sold across a couple of different servers. So for example, here you can see the region average daily sold of netherweave cloth is 2,414. That doesn't mean that I'm going to sell 2,414 on Storm Rage. That's just the average. You may sell more, you may sell less, you may sell right at. There's been times where I've sold a lot more, and it's just because it's taking an average across a bunch of different servers. So, for example, the way you can see the difference in that is that netherweave cloth, a lot of people buy because they want to buy old materials to make transmogs so that you can sell the crafted transmogs. Most people don't buy transmog items a whole lot. Now, when they sell, they're great, but this one you can see right there, region average daily sold is 0.01. That means that that thing is going to take a long time to sell unless you just happen to be lucky and you're the one that has it up on the auction house the day that person's looking for it. So that's really how that works. Um, it's so trying to think of how I can explain it a little bit better. If you're wanting to look at it as a transmog item, region average daily sold, if it is like I was saying earlier, if it is there are multiple ways to get the appearance, then 0.01 is probably not that great, and I would just either vendor it or disenchant it. Now, if you're talking about material flipping, if you're talking about material flipping in BFA, I wouldn't really pay much attention to region average daily sold because they're gonna sell on most servers if you're an actual like medium to high pop server. So if you have the lowest price of Zenithid, guess what? If you're on a medium high pop server, they're gonna sell. But that's different in comparison to if you're the lowest price on your server of the Taji quarterstaff of the Fire Flash, yeah, you might sell it. There may be somebody that wants it that day, but it's going to take you a while to sell it. Mm-hmm. Total gold right now is 1.5 on Storm Rage, and then I have about I think about 430 on Dentarg, and then on Dentarg I probably have another 400 or 500K in the auction house, and Storm Rage I have about 3 to 350 in the auction house. Yeah, yeah, we're getting there slowly but surely. We're getting there. I'm getting to play around with a bunch of different things. Really and truly, hell, I'm even learning, playing around with a bunch of things. The thing that always kind of keeps you on your toes is that you can get into a lull if you're on the same server for a really long time and it becomes dead. Kind of like my Dentark server. There's only very specific things that sell, so I spent a very long time only selling those very specific things. So then when I came to Storm Rage, it's like, holy shit, everything sells. Like, you can buy stuff from a vendor and it sells within hours. So uh, you have to relearn essentially your ways of making gold. Like this afternoon, I was on my main and I made a couple of very basic potions. Like if you're familiar with alchemy, the rage potion. I bought the recipe for it. I learned it, and I made like 3 or 4 rage potions and posted them up on the auction house for 80 gold, and they all sold. I I would have it would have taken me 4 months on Dentark to sell one of those rage potions, but apparently on Storm Rage there's a bunch of people that want them. Ooh, all right, Stylo, your question is a very long one, so I will come back to it in just a second. Xerxes, for gathering or old content, hands down, period, without a doubt, Druid. I know a lot of people, if you're gonna do boosting, then yeah, if you're gonna talk about boosting, do Demon Hunter. But if you're doing anything old transmog farming, new transmog farming, new gathering, dual gathering, and old world content, anything like that, you are never gonna go wrong with a druid. That's why I'm on a druid right now. So Silo, yeah, two parts on yours. So yep, I am on Storm Rage US. The second part is about pets. So I I've been wanting to do kind of like a little series or something on this, but pet arbitrage is like a huge thing that I play. I love doing pet arbitrage, and essentially what you can do with that is I buy a bunch of pets with the gold that I make from selling items on Dentarg, buy the pets that are cheap on Dentarg, selling for higher on Storm Rage, and then bring them over to Storm Rage using the collections. Essentially, you just, I mean, this has been around for a while, but if you're just now hearing this from me, so essentially the way it works is you learn the pet, it goes into your collections. You log on to a different character on a different server, and you can pull it out into your bags as a caged pet on that server. So I mean, I make a good amount of gold. Oh, my stamp whistle went away because I was talking. Whoopsies. You can make a lot of gold doing that. I've done that a couple of times. I normally do kind of what I consider heavy hitters. So like if a really cheap TCG pet goes up on Dentarg, then I will buy it on Dentarg and sell it on Storm Rage. Oh, Stylo, I'm sorry, you misunderstood me. I meant if you're looking to do like personally yourself, carry people and make money doing freehold boosting, then demon hunters are the best class for you to make gold doing freehold boosting because they're just so brutally OP. You can pretty much pull the whole damn dungeon right when you pop 120 and nothing's going to kill you. So that's what I meant by that. Yeah, no, please, if you were listening to me and you thought that I was saying that you need to pay for a boost to get a demon hunter from 98 to 120, please stop. Don't do that. Yeah, it's for boosting characters. Even right now, you can make a lot of money doing that. If you have a decently geared demon hunter that you just got sitting around somewhere, pull that bad boy out and start posting in trade chat that you're going to do freehold boosts. I think Storm Rage right now is going for. Excuse me. I think Storm Rage is going anywhere from. I think it's 5k if you have heirlooms and 7K if you don't have heirlooms. Yeah, Carl, thanks. Yeah, we hit 3K and started blasting on. It's just unreal. We've had some insane growth over the past couple weeks. Yeah, Vengeance is a brutally good tank, but man, if you have a good geared Havoc, yeah, you're there's not with the amount of leech that it has, there's not a damn thing that's gonna kill you. Yeah, Stylo, because essentially what you can do right now is if you have a good Demon Hunter, you can run them 110 to 120 in about 65 minutes, maybe 70 minutes. If you think about that, you know, just a little bit over an hour and you're making 50k raw gold or 70k if they don't have heirlooms. Takes a little bit longer if they don't have heirlooms, but really and truly it's not that much longer. Uh, All right, give me a sec, guys. I'm gonna run grab some tea real quick. I'll be right back. All right. Yeah, Stello, it's definitely that fast. So, you know, if you got a bunch of extra gold laying around that you're wanting to get some boosts, the way to go. Find somebody that's been doing it for a little bit, and it's brutally fast. Yeah, it doesn't take long at all. Most classes can actually do it, just depending on whether or not somebody's willing to sit there for the extra time. Demon hunters just run through so fast. Paul, what are you trying to sell? And what did you sell, Stello? Really, deep sea bags don't sell. Ghost arm. A little rough. What server are you on? You just did you tell me what on Frostwolf? The low pop server? Nice. Says medium. Uh, hmm. So none of the bags are selling. Yeah, I was about to say I would make sure. So one of the ways I've made a lot of gold today is I've just kind of sat in trade chat. I know a lot of people think it's boring, but I just kind of sat in trade chat, and even though I had the lowest price on the AH, I was just partially undercutting myself, selling the bags, still selling for profit. But I was just making exactly what I make whenever the AH takes its cut, so I still make, what I get if I sell them off the AH. Well, I mean, unsung hero. How much gold do you have on the server? Yeah. So really, unfortunately, right now, everything is dropping. You're seeing you're seeing the kind of the crash before the expansion right now. So so if you're crafting items, especially if you're crafting new content items, just be careful. Don't don't bulk buy right now if you're crafting. Make sure that you're only buying enough to make, maybe if you're doing bags, maybe make like 20 to 30 bags and then wait for the next day because you have no idea. For perfect example is Storm Rage today. I woke up this morning and I had sold probably 40 or 50 bags overnight that sold for 245 gold apiece. Right now, I'm going to be lucky if I log back in over to my main in just a minute and see that any have sold at 230 and 98 silver. So everything is tanking right now. Hey, Bruno, what's up? Came back after 18 months. Yeah, that's a little rough. Them says ghost iron bars are 50 gold. Nothing selling. 2.3. Oh, hey, so hero, if I were you, if that's the case, this is what I would do. Is I would just use some of your gold to server hop to a different server and just take your main over to a different server. Maybe leave one or two tunes over on the transmog server to still farm transmog every now and then. I didn't mean to do that. And then just go to a high pop server. Ooh, so Renchario, that is a really good question. Um, so if you go on the TSM, the Trade Skill Master website, I think it's under the group tab. You can actually see, um, you can do a pet comparison. So so you can actually say like, for example, with mine, what I do is I always look on pets for Dentarg and selling them at Storm Rage. So I can look at Dentarg and then hit Storm Rage, and then at the top right hand corner, it'll let me select highest profit margin going up. Essentially, what it shows me is it shows me what is the cheapest pet on Storm Rage that sells for the highest profit. Or, well, I'm sorry, what is the cheapest pet on Dentarg that sells for the highest profit on Storm Rage? I buy those on Dentarg, bring them over to Storm Rage through my collections, and rinse and repeat. Yeah, for sure. You can use gold to server hop. You essentially get the Blizzard balance through buying the tokens, turn it in, and then use it to server hop. I think a server hop is like 25 gold. And yeah, Carl, I use DSM. Moonguard is an interesting beast. I eventually want to kind of get over onto a couple of role playing realms just to try and feed some of the transmog. Look at me running back into the dungeon before I even reset it. Just to kind of see how it is. Obviously, you're telling me that it doesn't quite work. Um, really and truly, from what I've seen from a lot of people, when you get over to a role playing um, server, is there's very, very, very specific things that sell. So you kind of have to find those certain things and just stick with them. So Eye of Azara, in my opinion, would not be the good option if you do not have skinning and Legion leatherworking, because skinning all the mobs in the dungeon, making the pants through leatherworking, and then vendor raw gold selling them is where you make a majority of the profit in Eye of Azara. Now, if you have all that and you do what I just said, you can make way more than any other Legion dungeon, hands down. If you don't have that, then personally, what I would do right now is I would stick with Maw of Souls, because you can run Maw of Souls 10 times in like just a little bit under 40 minutes. Then you can run over and Storm, I think it's Stormheim, right? Stormheim, and farm the fatty bear steaks, kill the bears over there, and you can make bear tartare. Alex, yes, I am that crazy. I have multiple druids that just farm old world content. Absolutely. Now, to be fair, I don't have multiple druids that farm old raid content on the same server. They're all on different servers. Yeah. So, for the battle pets, are you so Ren, are you talking about using the website like I was saying to show which ones are actually like selling for higher percentage? I think that's what you're asking. Let me see if I can actually pull it up and actually show you through the stream what it looks like. Bear with me, I've never tried to pull anything like this up during a stream before, so give me a sec. Uh, Alright, let's see if I just... Nope, that did not do right. Like, Okay. So you can see here I'm on the Triskill Master website. So essentially what I was talking about with the pets is pet comparison. So you go to auctions, you go to pet comparison. Click pet comparison, and for example, I do Dentarg. Dentarg, and you can see it shows all of them here. And then you can do Storm Rage. So then what I can do is I can do percentage difference, and then I can do profit. Now I can see on Dentarg, it's showing the DB market is 566 for the Tickbird hatchling, and then I can also see that that is a 6,684% profit if I buy it on Dentarg for 8 gold and sell it for the DB market at 566 gold. You can also do price difference. So you can see for big flips, this is a decent percentage and you're going to make more gold for your one flip. So you can see Dentarg, I can buy Rot Breath for 100k and then sell it for probably around, you'd probably actually sell it for probably 150 on Storm Rage. Now you can also see here that its region market is 219. So what that tells you is if you spend enough time going through here finding out what server is the best, you have a bunch of alts, you can just bring those pets over to the highest server that you have. Hopefully that explains kind of what I was talking about a little bit. Yeah, no problem. Glad I could help out there. TSM is awesome. I use that comparison a lot. Hell, I may even use it for the Tickbird. Go back over to Dentarg. Since I've been on Storm Rage, I haven't logged back into Dentarg in probably 3 or 4 days. Yep, you can use the Undermine journal to check that as well. It's just not for the quantities. Yeah, absolutely. Definitely, if you're going to do something where you're kind of testing out the prices, you can still do that, but it's just so much faster on the TSM website. Oh, Alex, are you talking about current or in general? Because if you're talking in general, we're going to have a long discussion about how to get from 1 to 120, because I'm wanting to do it as a challenge, but I have not personally done it myself. I'm assuming that you're talking about BFA, and I'm a little jaded with that one just because I know my route very, very well. But I stick with the Tear Guard Sound river route that kind of just loops and circles around. That's the one that I use to level all of my dual gathering alts whenever I make them and have them around 110. Yeah, I saw that. Saw that. Wonder how long it's gonna take him. He is crazy with his routes. His routes are awesome though. If you ever need a route for anything, definitely go to him. The reason I like his routes is because one of the things that he does is he will continuously bring out small little tweaks. So he runs them so much and he tests it so much that he'll come back out and be like, oh well, at this point, turn left here and skip that one node because it saves you so much time that you actually make it up by not hitting that node and going back. And I mean, he's just like crazy in depth with his routes. I wish that I was on that level with making routes. Hey, what's going on, Askin? Good to see you back. Oh, Golden Routes, he's another YouTuber. If you check out his channel and pretty much any video that he puts up will have he's really good at this. He has a description under each one of his on how he can import all of his routes. If you use I know this sounds redundant, but if you use the add-on routes and then download his routes, you can just pretty much instantly use them. If your server is not multi-box to hell and Zenithid still sells for a good price, he has an amazing route for Zenithid up. I personally use his route for Zenithid. So the issue with that is, and I'm just going to be honest with you, I've been doing this across a couple of different servers with the majority of my stuff for the longest time in old world content. It is very hard. It took me a solid four 4 to 4.5 years of solid grinding on Dentarg just to learn that server, that one server for old world content. It shows, like you can see here, this is old world content here, so it shows that it sells 5.92 region, and Fell Iron sells for a little bit more and all this kind of stuff, but you don't know that. You have to test it yourself. Unfortunately, there's not, because of the whatever it is, I think it's the API with Blizzard, since they kind of cut that out. It's very, very hard to get specific data for your server unless you test it yourself. I do a lot of testing. You want to, so golden routes is, do you want to, yeah, golden routes is back. He's been back for a little while. We got a good bit of the stuff there. Yeah, so that's what I would do. Um, I would kind of go through and see kind of what you want to farm for different things. Um, Actually, you know what? Here's a good way that I can help you narrow it down. So what? Oh, routes. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, the add-on routes is back. Technically, right now it's considered an out of date. So if you're running a bunch of other out of dates, it'll kind of crash a little bit. But I still use it just because you can still use it. Um, so cognitive. So what are you like? What professions are you running for your old world content? Are you doing all of them? Are you focusing on one? Are you trying to just touch a little bit on each of them? How are you doing it? Or have you started on it? Because either one. Most farming professions. Okay, so if I could give you the best possible advice, it would be start with one. So pick which crafting profession that you have the most patterns on and stick with that one for a little while. And then only look on that particular crafting profession on what items to farm. So pick tailoring or blacksmithing or whatever it is. Pick whichever profession you want to look at and say do your own testing. So, and I know that doesn't necessarily always sound fun, but really and truly you can't get away from it because unless it's a server that I'm personally on, I won't be able to speak to your server. So just take 1 month and test one profession. So take have alchemy maxed out, but it seems a lot here. Oh, okay. So that's the key. So so do you have any old world alchemy stuff? Non BFE or BFE? Wow. Non BFA alchemy patterns, or do you just have BFA alchemy? Okay. So and you have I'm assuming I think you just said that you have TSM. Oh man, so if you have some what unavailable crafts do you have? Not that they're going to sell, fast, but if you have unavailable crafts that are true unavailable crafts that's the only way you can get that appearance. Ooh. That's the only way you can get that appearance. You need to be at the very least one of those needs to be up on your auction house at all times. 'Cause especially with the old world crafting, doesn't matter what it is. If you have a unavailable item, then you're gonna make some bank with it. Viper, we're sitting at right at 1.4 to 1.5 mil liquid on Storm Rage with another 4 to 5 in the auction house. Dentarg has a couple 100,000 raw, and then another couple 100,000 in the AH. Like we were saying earlier, we're about a third of the way there. So keep missing it. Mm, honestly, a large variety of things. A majority of my gold that I've made currently has been with deep sea bags, embroidered deep sea bags, rubbery flank, the dredge leather, and even though I know it's boring, I I probably I know it's boring just sitting there making the pants, but when you can buy them for under 1 gold, 90 silver, that is the way to go. If you have Vial of Sands, you'll make a good bit of money. Ocean of Treasure Finding is also a good one. Most servers that I have Potion of Treasure Finding on, unfortunately, the people that are farming the materials make a or do a very good job at making sure the market stays right at profit. So it normally stays right at or a little bit over. So to make a decent amount of profit, you have to farm the materials yourself, which is fine. I mean, obviously, you guys can tell in here watching me run mana tombs from Burning Crusade. I don't really have any issues with running old dungeons or running old raids. Yeah, I think I have a lot of cloth here. Let's see how much we got. Hmm, I have 2021. Hmm, that is a lot. Need some more Corium ore. I really want to get a little bit more Corium ore before I call it on mana tombs. Yeah, raw gold farming with multiple tombs takes a while, unless you're multi-boxing it, you know. Then you can make stupid gold. Hmm. Yeah, potion of treasure finding, all that fun stuff. Like you said, majority of Kata stuff sells. That's also because the majority of Kata stuff, the stuff that's selling, leads to some kind of mount or transmog or something like that. Destructo Blade. I think after this run, we will dump everything, sell a bunch of the transmog, and then we will go hit up either Saltstone or Molten Core. I'll let you guys decide. when I'm starting out on a new server, or in general, I normally try to make a bunch of my gold raw gold. Normally try to make it up to about 100k, and then once I get 100k, I start flipping profession items, selling profession items, and then after I have over 100k, I normally, unless I know that's going to eat into my profit margin with old world items, I normally will not farm materials as I sit here and farm corium ore nodes in BC. Mm-hmm. Nice. All right. Mm, not really a high selling. You can always use loot appraiser. Have you ever? Yeah, I was about to say, have you ever used loot appraiser? Oh, look! Well, look at that. We can actually do that right now. I have it here. I just didn't have it turned on. Yeah. So you're gonna hear a bunch of dings, bunch of dings. So when you have loot appraiser on, you do \LA. It starts a session, and then it will show you currency that you've looted, noteworthy items, where you're at. So it shows mana tombs, 10 seconds, loot item value, and it'll show you the item value and your gold value per hour. So what I normally do with this is we'll go to my add-on setup, and then I'll make sure that this is on poor, 0, don't ignore, and then I use TSM market. You can also use, if you want to know exactly right now, I can show you guys, we'll use min buyout. You have TSM min buyout, which means that's going to be the lowest price that it's selling for on the auction house right this second. And here we go. So, and then you loot, ding, and it shows me. So essentially what it's showing me here is it's showing me my vendor price. So I have now looted 62 silver from those guys. And it's showing me that these other items will vendor for 1 gold and 25 silver. Boom. And it also shows netherweave. Shows what it's selling for. The lowest right now. See? You can see that it just did that perfectly. So it shows that my netherweave cloth is selling for 20 silver, and you can see when I hover over it on my TSM, it shows me 20 silver. So you know that it's working right. Yeah, Loot Appraiser is awesome. I know I have a, as you can see, a absolute crap ton of um, add-ons that I use. You guys be interested in me, maybe putting out a video or a full thing on all the ones that I use, why I use them, and how they can kind of help you with gold making, gold farming, and all that fun stuff? Alright, we're gonna go back to. Alright. Yeah, that wouldn't be hard for me to put together. Just go through all of them then. Just not gonna deal with that right now. Oh, still bad. And this is why I love having multiple bank alts pretty much across any of the servers. Always one that just becomes my dumping ground where I'll just send everything off to, sell disenchant vendor or anything later. It's just so much easier to do all that on one character. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is always the painful part. Doesn't take too awfully long though. Hmm. I just gotta figure out what I want to go for next. Hmm. So into this. That's why I still had those in my bag. Alright. Let's see. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. It's already feeling like, guys. I wanna run some more dungeons. So we're just doing Burning Crusade. No, I haven't really done Lich in a while. I haven't done Lich, and I just did Kata not too long ago. Oh god, I really don't want to do what. All right, so let's do either a classic or a Lich dungeon. Oh man, Pit of Sauron was always really good. I like doing that. Farrak? I haven't done Farrak on Storm Rage yet. Sounds like a winner chicken dinner. Oh, alright. Fastest way to get over there is Sands of time. Yeah, or the Sands of time. Caverns. Oh yeah, Carl. It's a sickness, but yes, absolutely. I'm a transmog guy at heart. Hmm. So Ryan, uh, quickest answer that I can probably give you on that is I will kind of look over them. I'll see what the disenchanting value is compared to the vendor value, and then also look at the price, what it's selling for. So, for example, if you know something has a 30 gold disenchant value and I can sell those, and has a 5 gold vendor, then obviously I want to disenchant. And say it has a 100 gold transmog value on the AH. Well, I'm sure as shit gonna vendor it. But if it has a 5 gold vendor and a 50 gold disenchant, but it's the only way for you to get that appearance, and it has a 50,000 gold transmog value, then yeah, I'm gonna post it up on the auction house for transmog. And then the alternative is if the disenchant value is dog shit and the transmog isn't worth a damn, then I vendor it. I just now saw you comment. Yeah, it's never a simple answer when it comes to working around on the economy. DRD, yep. Oh, almost forgot. I get a little bear tartare going on. Mm. Mm. All right. Oh, now we got the loot appraiser on, so now we get all the dings. Ding, 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 ding. Ooh, that was highly inefficient there. I had to do multiple swipes. I know that probably the most efficient way to do this is to actually not do what I'm doing and stopping and looting. However, before I learned that, I got decently efficient at knowing how fast I can click loot and then start running again. It doesn't actually take me a whole lot of time to loot if you can't tell. Instance lock? I just probably go back to the Stormwind, flip some shit on the AH, or wait for it to redo, or hop to a different server. That's the beautiful thing is that it is the instance lockout is server wide. So that's why I like having a bunch of characters on a bunch of different servers, because by doing an old farm, like hands down, one of my favorite Kata farms is running Ocean of Treasure Finding and doing Twilight Bastion, just the first room. So you run into that very first room, Twilight Bastion, with the Ocean of Treasure Finding, kill everything, run back out, reset. You hit instant reset very, very quickly, because I think the whole run, just running into the first room and killing everything, only takes you maybe 2 minutes to loot everything and run back out. So you're sitting there having a lot of free time, and I'll just server hop. What is it? Emerald Silk. Yeah, Ember Silk. Yep. Ding, 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 ding. Let's get all the zombies. Just collect everything. I always forget these guys actually just spawning. I know this is probably not the efficient way. I get that. I'm pretty sure that most people probably just don't do this, but I'm just way too OCD to actually let all the extra raw gold and potential drops from the guys that spawn go to waste. Way too OCD. That's Ooh, see, there you go. That's why it's worth it. You know what? That's actually a great question that I do not know the answer to. I have not tried to do a flip. I have not flip flopped from doing instance lockout on Horde to Alliance. I would assume, since they came out and said that instance lockout is now going to be server wide, that I would assume that it's bound to that account and it's bound to that account through the server. So I would say that you may get a hang up with that and not be able to do it. But I also can't say for sure. That'd be something interesting to check out. May the RNG gods be with you, Askin. First off, I do not have the 5 mil mount. We're about a third of the way there. We're working our way there. We'll get it. Oh, see, I messed up. Wasn't paying attention. Booga booga. Let's see. Oh, did I glitch it? I always forget that I glitch it sometimes. Hope I didn't. Let's see. Alex, what's the fastest way to farm expulsum? So, unfortunately, fastest way is still a grind. You figure out whichever is cheaper on your server. You figure out whatever is cheaper on your server. You either do the shimmer scale bracers or leatherworking, for the tie spray linen bracers for tailoring. You just absolutely craft the hell out of those, and yeah, and then you send them to whatever character you want to farm the expulsum on, and then they just use it. And then you get the expulsum through scrapping the all of the bracers. It's a damn. Ooh, look at that. Now that is what I like to see right off the bat. Woohoo! First run, we got Jade. That is Ludipraiser. That's doing all the dinging in the background. That's another good one. So actually, and I know I'll probably tell you guys a bunch of these little ones that sell like this for some reason, but even though this says 0.01 to sell, I cannot tell you how many of these I've actually sold. They're a really cool looking male pants transmog. On Storm Rage, I've only been on Storm Rage for seriously for probably about 3 or 4 months. Dintarg a couple of years. I mean, I probably sell at least 3 to 5 of these on Dintarg every month, and they yeah, they do really well. Oh, I completely forgot that was the boss I was about to hear. It's I think Glorious can drop from here, but Jade as well. It's just the slut mogs. Those are what sell so much. But Jade, man, look at Jade. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Those are nice. Oh yeah, that's really nice too. I'm just gonna leave that. um, let's see what we got. What top 10 best products for gold farming? Ooh. Um. So, in my opinion, the major essential ones um, are Trade Skill Master and the Undermine Journal. Um, there are tons of other ones though that I use. They're just very specific. So Loot Appraiser is great for knowing when you have an item come through that you may or may not already know have already sold. Gathermate 2 is, you know, completely invaluable when it comes to um, farming herbs and ore. Um, One that I actually just came across, and I forgot how long it's been out, but man, when you're making a bunch of deep sea bags like I make, and you're doing what Alex is about to start doing for Expulsum. Actually, Alex, this is key. If you don't already have this add-on, please go get this before you go and torture yourself making Expulsum. Is Byem All. So it's Buyemall. Essentially, what that lets you do is when you go to buy your nylon threads, it lets you set stacks. So instead of having to hit Shift, 200, buy stack, all that fun stuff, you can just hit Shift, right click, and then you can just click a button as many times as you have money or bag slots for, and it will buy stacks really, really fast. And that just saves you so much time. Yeah, yep. So actually, Alex, I wanted to do some testing on that myself. I want to see if you can continuously farm them using the Q for heroics. And, if you're decently geared right now, you can just blast through a queued heroic. I mean, my warrior right now, I could probably just pull the whole damn dungeon and kill it myself in a queued heroic. But you can still loot, and heroics is the lowest that you can get the hydrocores drop from. So I'm wondering whether or not you can just spam queue heroics and grind out hydrocores that way. Mm, Zerks. So yeah, sorry. I thought I tried to answer, but it's cool if you missed it. So essentially, what you do is you use your gold to buy WoW tokens off of the AH. There's a little spot on the left hand side where you can select token, and then you can right click the tokens, and it uses them, and it puts Blizzard balance in your actual account, and then you just use enough of those to have enough gold for a server transfer, or have enough money in your Blizzard account for a server transfer. Probably right now it's going to take 2 WoW tokens to do that. So I think the last I checked, they were at like 109 to 119. So you're looking at just a little bit over 200k gold to pay for your server up. Yeah, at least 250. Hey Chris, yeah. So we're just doing Zul'Farrak. You can get a budget transmog from here, and it's just a pretty tried and true transmog farm. I actually already got a Jade handpiece, which is really nice. These sell very well. Um, just a good drop to have right off the bat on the first run. And everything else we kind of just look at, see what we get. Sell off all of the items. Really just set all of those to trash. Probably be faster. Boom. We get a lot of those. All right. Holy crap, 175k for WoW tokens on EU? This is a genuine question for anybody that's ever tried this or anything like that, or if they know the answer. Um, if I'm wanting to, come over and hang out and play around on the EU server, can I do that on this my same account? Can I actually just make a character on this account on an EU server, or do I have to have a actually do like the whole hiding my IP address, making it look like I'm coming from EU, and then select EU servers and only play EU servers on that account? You need a second account. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, that's nice to know. I didn't know if you had to do like the actual like IP hide. Oh, look at that. We got a new appearance. What did we get? Ooh. Oh, look at those snazzy looking sandals right there. Oh yeah, Cement. All of my live streams I'll pretty much keep up. How's it going? I'm gonna be on for at least another, you know, 30, 40 minutes. You can hang out with us for a little while. And to be honest, I've been very pleasantly surprised. I really enjoy uh this this like past week and a half has been awesome with the live streams. I've never really been able to do the live streams before and have this much interaction. So being able to keep them up and then having people, see them after and take little bits and pieces of what I talk about, I can just ramble about this shit for hours. So it's always cool to have multiple ways to get to interact with everybody. And I like that I get to interact with you guys like straight from my channel, which is really nice. Ding, 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 ding. Um, yeah, Mar, it's set to 0 because I like it to sound like I'm at a up and coming dubstep concert with all the dings that I hear when everything comes through. Oh, fair. Yeah. Yeah. I should probably step it up, or so it's not so annoying. We'll set it to 100. Hey, well, that's nice to know. I never, I never knew how I would do interacting with everybody, but it's actually been a lot of fun. Yeah, because no matter how long, that's the one thing that I love about WoW is that if anybody on any channel for any reason tells you that they know everything about WoW, then probably lying to you. You learn little things about WoW every day, which to me, makes actually playing the game and everything like that just really so much fun. That's why I've stayed playing the game for so long. Mm-hmm. Plant your bombs, sir. Ooh. Yeah, it's better to not have it dinging so much all the time. Oh, actually one that I want. The one-handed. Hey, I'm glad. Yeah, it's always nice. You always remember those thresholds. Hitting the first WoW token. I think my big one was when uh when I finally saw, you get to finally see a mill just sitting in your bags. That was a big one for me. I'll be honest with you guys, saving up for the long boy has been awfully difficult for me. I'm normally a heavy duty reinvestor. I'd get like 500,000, 600,000, and then I'd pay for a boost for an alt that I wanted to get blacksmithing on a different server, or I would, find a rare unobtainable pattern that I could learn with my tailor that cost 400, 500K. It'll happen. Keep working at it. You'll get it. Takes practice and repetition. Yeah, that's always a good one. I'm a collector at heart too, so I buy a bunch of unobtainable patterns. I know this makes a bunch of people cringe, but I'll even buy unobtainable patterns that have no resale value once learned, just to simply have them. Um, I try not to do as many of those, but you know, sometimes I just get the itch. But I'll steal Longblade. That is an amazing pattern to pick up because you can just make a bunch of those and post them up. You'll make your gold back on buying the pattern for sure. Now, it may take you a couple months because they're pretty heavy duty transmogs, sell for a lot normally on most servers. Um, I say a lot. A lot for what most people will pay for transmogs. Um, I mean, on Dentarg, I think they sell for like 80, 90k. On Storm Rage, they sell for 50. Oh, Cognitive, congrats. Congrats, congrats. Yeah, that's what it's all about. See, now you have the AH at your fingertips at all times. So now you can just make your next 5 mil. Just that easy. Isn't that how it works? I can't wait to have the AH where I can just hop up on it and post all this stuff. Then I'll never see me in a main city again. Just see me hop on here and then post everything and then go to the next dungeon. Yeah. Mark my words. When I get the long boy, you guys will be hard pressed to ever see me in one of the main cities again. Yeah, and I have it right there. That's a hot bar item for sure. A stamp whistle. Woohoo! Hey, May. It is a very Carl. It is a very long walk from the AH to the mailbox. They just don't have the time to be able to spend to do that. Alright, guys. Well, I think this is probably going to be our last run. And then I'm going to have to call it for tonight because I have got work nice and early and bright in the AM. Maybe we can go out with a bang, get another jade piece or something crazy. Oh, hero. See, that's the thing that we like a big no-no. The last thing that you want to do is have me scare everybody away with my time played. You know, I have a pretty decently nasty number on my main, but you know, obviously not up there with some of the crazy guys like Asmon or anything like that. Speaking of backslash played, so if you guys have not seen this video, this is unreal. Um, has anybody in here seen the video of the guy that was making like, I think he made 10K gold on Classic, and it was off of one of Asmon's streams I saw, and he did his like played time, and they did the math, and it was essentially like 16 hours a day every day since the release of Classic. And this video came out like maybe 2 months ago. Yeah, that is just brutally insane. Good lord. For anybody in here that, well, Hero, you can help me do the comparison a little bit. I think I'm decently close. So for anybody in here that doesn't play Classic, having 16K in Classic is probably the equivalent of 5 to 10 mil in BFA or more. Oh, Carl, well, welcome. Yeah, that's just nasty amount of gold. Yeah, see, how my journey started is I was going over to my buddy's house growing up to I couldn't afford WoW and the subscription and everything with vanilla. I would go over to his house and play on his account. We'd switch out, and so I didn't get my account actually until right around the ending of BC, and then I got to play Lich. Yeah, it's always a shocker when you do backslash played. The the hard thing for me is I'll have to actually log in on all of my characters. I'll have to turn Altaholics on and then log in on all my characters because I actually have the max number of characters on this account. So I think I have the 50. Obviously not all 50 120s, but a lot of them. So Alex, the issue that you're gonna come into solo is that you can only get hydrocores from lootable bosses. So if you do a solo run of a heroic, you can only do that dungeon once. If you do the heroic again, it's not going to give you loot because you're soloing it. If you do mythic 0, you can only do it once. Um, I mean, technically you could do the heroics once a day, um, but still that seems a little inefficient. So, I mean, I would, if you want to test something, I'm gonna test it myself as well. But if you want to test something, I would just queue up for a heroic and do the queue and see if you get the same dungeon twice, and if you can actually get hydrocores from the queues. Yeah, I think Dungeon Finder is going to be the way you can go because you, as long as you're in a queue, you can keep looting, and that'll still give you the chances. Now, if you want, if you just absolutely despise queuing, you can always just run through every BFA dungeon, depending on your gear. You can just run through every BFA dungeon on Heroic and Mythic Zero yourself and solo it. But then once you do that once through, you're locked on Heroics for the week and no Heroics for the day and Mythics for the week for zeros. Alrighty. Well, guys, this is gonna be it for the night. Um, I appreciate everybody coming out again. I had a blast. We're gonna do some more of this. Don't know if I'll be streaming tomorrow. Probably announce on the community tab so you guys can just kind of keep an eye out if you want. Um, Probably gonna start making this to where at the very least I have some kind of a schedule. So maybe do like Monday, Wednesday, Friday streams, and then also additional streams because I'm spastic like that. So if I know myself, if I set a schedule, then I'll at the very least stream on those days. But I may set a schedule of Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I may stream all weekend. So you know, I'm not quite sure. We'll put all that up. But yeah, thanks for checking out. If you guys have any other questions, feel free. Just comment below. If you're here and you haven't already, subscribe. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you guys pretty soon. All right, peace.